Alan, you have made no secret of your affiliation with the Democrat Party. You also were a critic, by and large, of the way President Obama dealt with Israel. Based on what we saw today between the president and prime minister, the new American president and a familiar name as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu look as if they get along quite well.
Well, I know them both. I've known Netanyahu since 1970, and I've met Trump on a number of occasions. They are very compatible. They both believe that business and economics play a great role in politics. They're both pragmatists. They both want to see a solution to this. And I don't think, by the way, that Netanyahu, I'm just speculating here, I don't know this personally, I don't think he'd be too upset at some pushback on the settlements. He does push back on the settlements from time to time, too. It's the right wing within his coalition that presses so hard for settlements and that is against the two-state solution. I think in the end, Netanyahu favors the two-state solution. He'd like to see settlement growth within only the areas that will remain part of Israel and not beyond that. So I think this was a win-win for everybody.
And to that point, Alan, we just have another excerpt from the press conference that again shows the good feeling between the two leaders as they are dealing with very challenging topics. Let's look and listen.
As far as settlements, I'd like to see you hold back on settlements for a little bit. We'll work something out, but I would like to see a deal be made. Bibi and I have known each other a long time. A smart man, great negotiator, and I think we're going to make a deal. It might be a bigger and better deal than people in this room even understand. That's a possibility. So let's see what we do.
Let's try it.
Doesn't sound too optimistic, but that's he's a good negotiator.
That's the art of the deal.
So the line about President Trump's book of many years ago, The Art of the Deal. Now, just a second ago, Alan, and you labeled it as speculation. You believe the prime minister is very comfortable with the two-state solution, but we really didn't get into the geography. It seems there is talk of looking past the West Bank to Gaza and the Sinai. Do you think I hate to use a legal term, but it just comes to mind, might we see a change of venue when it comes to a Palestinian state?
Well, I think we're seeing a change of attitude at the very least. I think everybody knows now that in order to have a real peace, we have to include Israel and America's Sunni allies, the Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Egypt. And I think we will see a regional effort to try to bring about peace. And that will open up options as to whether or not it ends up with a federation between Jordan and the Palestinians or between Egypt and Gaza. Of course, really nobody wants the Palestinians. I mean, the Jordanians don't want to have a federation with the Palestinians. The Egyptians want nothing to do with Gaza. But there may be a regional solution that will entail cooperation from all of the countries in the area, not just Israel and the Palestinians.
We heard the Prime Minister invoke the title of President Trump's book. Just knowing the two men as you do, who might be better at the art of negotiating a settlement deal? Or will this truly be a collaboration where the instincts of both men will shine, dare we say, in the most optimistic application?
Look, the best solution is for both men to use their different talents. I mean, Trump's talents lie in business. Benjamin Netanyahu has been a superb negotiator in terms of domestic politics, being able to keep his coalition together, even though there are enormously diverse forces within the coalition. I do think that the time is right for a negotiated resolution. I think that Trump will put pressure on the Palestinians as well as the Israelis, whereas Obama only put pressure on the Israelis. I think they really have to do something about the UN resolution that was passed in the waning days of the Obama administration, which was a disaster for peace. It makes peace much more difficult because it takes away Israel's bargaining position in terms of the Western Wall, the access road to Hebrew University and Hadassah Hospital and the Jewish Quarter. So I think that has to be taken into account. But I think if there's a will, the resolution, the two-state solution, is an obvious answer. I don't really know what the president had in mind when he talked about the possibility of a one-state solution, but Obama and Netanyahu were both committed to a two-state resolution, and I do think that's American policy, and I don't expect to see that change. I think we will see a two-state solution, but with different input from the surrounding countries than we previously had.